Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow, comment live, or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. Freddie, you have to get up. We've got a morning show to do.
Just give me 5 more minutes. Where'd I put my hat?
Come on, Freddie. You don't have time. Get out of bed.
I can never find my hat when I need it.
We'll get the hat at the studio. Let's go. Pour yourself some coffee and get to the studio because it's time for the morning show.
Now, where's my bell? One. Where's my bell? Welcome to the morning show. And for those of you that have been writing to me, and texting me this morning, yes, everybody's fine. Nothing happened here yesterday to us. There was a fire across the bay, across the way. So people have been texting me, are you all right? Not did they come by to check on me.
Nobody texts me.
I ain't texting.
No.
Says everybody's fine, but it was what it was, is what it is. Electrical fire, I think, is what happened there. And I was outside looking as the fire was raging because I was afraid.
Were there flames coming out of the building?
Yeah. But I was afraid that they would knock out my internet wire. I mean, I felt bad that the whole...
Listen, I am so grateful that everyone is okay because we're doing Sally's show yesterday and we hear sirens and we hear more sirens and then we hear the sirens next to the building on the other side of the wall. Then we start smelling smoke coming through the bay door. And then you went out and I figured you'd come in and go, we're all good, keep going. And then you said, shut it down, gotta go. So we shut it down and it was interesting because Sally was getting a whole lot of messages yesterday from all different angels and all different things.
She didn't see the fire though.
No, but apparently we were warned though.
You were warned what?
By Archangel Gabriel. You know, he apparently is made from fire, so I should have put 2 and 2 together and known that there was a fire coming. Now I will be more, clear on my understanding of the messages from Gabriel. Anyway, and then we go outside, and everyone's outside, and they go, move to the other side of the parking lot. So we move to the other side, and then one person says, you got to go. And you said, we have to shut down the studio, and she says, no, and the guy says, yes. So you and I both ran in. I figured, hey, if the building was going up, I was going up with you. So I ran in with you to shut it down. I wasn't letting you go up alone.
Well, she was a little bit caught in the moment. She came Johnny come lately because I already had talked to the sergeant that was on the scene. And he says, listen, maybe you want to get people out. We don't know how this is going to turn. I mean, he was rational. This other chick came and she was like totally, everybody gotta go, you gotta go. Ah! She looked like your dragon woman. I says, yo, take it easy. No, you gotta go. I said, well, I got equipment and everything and I gotta shut it down. Otherwise, you're gonna be serving 2 fires. No, you gotta go. And then the sergeant said, easy, because he's her sergeant. He says, relax, we got this. Okay, just hurry up, Freddie. He even called me Freddie.
Yeah.
He said, hurry up, Freddie, to get out. Okay.
So Brandon did our thing. Went out for a couple hours.
I told Dawn, don't open the door! Oh, and they leave the door open. No, you get all the smoke in here. And I turn the AC up so the smoke doesn't come that way.
I gotta tell you, being stuck in an emergency, you handle it beautifully. Thank you for watching out for us all. Truthfully, because then we came back to shut everything down properly. You had already turned the air up and the coffee was off.
Wasn't too bad.
Everything was pretty shut down there. The smell wasn't too bad. So.
Next door, they opened the door. That one. And they opened that one. What they did was they brought the smoke in, and it was coming out that way.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's why he says he's going to bring in some fans because
fan.
he invited this. You got to keep it closed
Yeah, why should you do this?
because you panic. And when you panic, nothing works. So the fire department, you know, I don't know. I maybe I'm too used to seeing New York City Fire Department. You know, those guys in New York, I mean, they were on point, but they were always in control. These guys, they were good, but there was a lot of moving parts all over the place.
There were a lot of trucks, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
and I
a
tell
lot
the
of trucks.
fireman, I said, it's over there. Because they were looking for the hydrant. And they ran the wire. And the guy that runs the hoses is different from the guy turning
Wow,
on
I
the
wouldn't even have that clarity of thought. Even you would have the clarity. I would not even thought of the clarity of thought of where the hydrant is. I don't even know where the hydrant is.
It's over there in the corner.
Huh?
It's that way.
That way.
So I parked myself. I
Wow.
parked myself behind a fire truck. So I'm looking like this. So the fire truck is here, and I'm looking like this, just in case there's some chemicals over there that decides to go boom boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then I'm looking at the way the firemen are attacking the fire, which they did on a little crouch position. They put one knee down because they don't know what's in there either.
Really?
So I said to the fireman, I said, you may want to go on that side because they were attacking it from this side because that's where the smoke was coming out. He says, you may want to go on the other side because it goes through. And sure enough, that's where the electrical fire was.
Did you learn this from the 3-4?
Yeah. they
I'm
teach you.
asking you, how did you learn all this?
They teach you
Because
the
me, I
fashion.
wouldn't even. I don't even know where the hydrant is. I wouldn't have even thought of turning the air up.
And
I
a-
did think of bringing my computer though.
And I asked the police officer, I said, because the firemen were too busy, I said, do you want me to move the cars? Because you need to move hoses. And what stops a car, a hose from going is a car. Normally what they do is they knock out your windows and they put the hose through your car. So I says, do you need me to move hoses, cars? I moved down. That's when I told Steve, okay, you got to go. Steve ran out of here like Red took Richmond. I went, where'd he go? He was out of here.
Oh.
Which is the right move. I told J-Lo to move her car. And you just want to get the cars
And
out
she
of the
says, should I go home?
Yeah, yeah.
So Jalen was good. She went home. She was the only crew with us. It was you, me, Steve, and Sally. And then we had Laura coming to do some shows. And she's like, are you kidding me? Yep.
It happens.
We're shut down. But fortunately, God is good. And everyone is safe. The two guys that work in the Bay, they got out. Everyone's safe. No
They
one got
were in
injured.
there when the fire started.
Oh my God.
So
When they got
everyone got out safely, and I think they contained it to a couple bays right over there. Those 2 bays.
2 bays.
That
Two
whole
bays.
that whole building,
2 or
I think,
3
has no
bays,
power for at least a month because they shut everything down, the whole grid. But we're very fortunate. And then I had to go run some errands yesterday. I come back in my garage, and I see water. Right, so I'm humbled by the whole experience of the fire and getting out and all the things. I'm just trying to work my brain through it. My brain was just spinning. I see water in a box on a shelf. I'm thinking, well, how could there be water on a box on my shelf in the garage? So I go to check, the box is wet. And, he's not tolerant for change. So he had a few choice expressions.
Stuff happens.
And he goes, I don't understand. I can't deal with this right now. Now the box is really wet.
Really?
So I look up, and we have a split unit AC in the garage. And the water, luckily the box had caught most of it, and there were some glass things that had caught most of it, but the rest was on the floor. And a lot of the big pictures we had from our old house of the kids from the bar mitzvahs and things like that were wrapped in paper on the floor in the water. What does water do? Water travels. So there I was at 8:30 unpacking pictures. Fortunately, only one got wet. Everything else was just the frames, laying those out around the house. By the time I got in to eat dinner, it was like 9:30. And I felt like I had just moved a mountain or two.
Oh wow.
But I didn't really do any heavy lifting. I didn't lift really anything, it was just pictures. But I think just the emotional day and realizing how humbled we are as humans, because I had fire and water. And thank goodness that everyone is safe and we're all good. But you realize these are all forces of nature bigger than we can ever control or think about. And there, by the grace of God, go I. So today is a day of humility until I got to come here.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
I'm driving here, and I guess 95 was shut down.
Yeah.
So people were trying to find alternative routes, and they were not very gracious finding it.
Didn't you come up from Fort Lauderdale?
She's in West Boca.
I came from West Boca, and the traffic was bad. It was raining over there. Yeah, I got stuck today in my community because for some reason we had to work in a community. The guys tried to cut the palms, and it's one palm blocked the gates.
Or you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
It's one of those
And I was
days.
patiently waiting, and my son was like, "Mom, I will go in," and he got already nervous. So I was like, "Yeah." So, but why you guys do that in the morning when everybody's trying to get out, go to work, school? And it was so annoying. But yeah, and then I realized when I late at 15 minutes, everybody is going somewhere, and it's
Everybody's
traffic at school. Then you're trying to get out that location, and you're driving here, East Boca, and here traffic too. I'm like, wow.
There was a guy that created his own lane in the bicycle lane as I'm driving here with his
Oh
big
my God.
Mercedes. He squeezed between my car and another car, and he made his own lane. And then another guy made a left from the middle lane into, as I was making a left. People were just making up their own lanes. I saw someone else run through a red light. And I thought, what is going on? Do they not realize that rain and God is way bigger than them getting wherever they're going on
Everybody
time?
tries to get over. That's what it is.
And it's just like one thing after another. And I'm thinking, what am I like even witnessing? So today, a day of gratitude and humility.
When I lived at Beaucaire, the very first year that we lived there was a flood issue at 2 spots. But these 2 roads are the ones to leave. So it rained really, really bad. I mean, this is nothing. It rained really bad for like 3 days. And it was flooded like a lake. So you couldn't cross. So what you saw was cars that tried to cross, and they were in the middle of this lake on the road. And then somebody decided to go up on the sidewalk and take the guy's lawn out. And he was stuck there.
Oh.
And the fighting that was going on, I just walked over and watched all the fighting, because if that was my lawn and you did that, you're in a lot of trouble. So they had to pay for the lawn, they had to pay for everything, and then they dug it up, they redid the piping, and it worked really nice. But my goodness, be careful when you see water that's still.
Oh yeah.
You don't know how deep it is. Don't be a Superman. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, between water and fire all in one day, I'm thinking lesson learned. We just got to chill a little bit and be
The only thing I don't
grateful.
like is that smoke sticks to you all day. That's sure that everything has to be cleaned, because it sticks with you. But there was a lot of smoke, I gotta tell you. A little fire had a lot of smoke, but I seen bigger than that.
But gratefully, everyone is good, and thank you to our Boca Raton first
Fire police
responders
department.
and everything that they did to keep us
They did.
safe, right?
It's funny, everybody's running this way and they have to run that way.
So you always say, if there's a fire, do you run in it or run out of it? You kind of
run
ran
in.
in between it.
No, they wouldn't let me get close. I
Well,
would have
good.
helped out.
Why? What are you going to do?
Well, if there were people on the ground, I would have helped out.
Well, luckily, there were not.
Well, there weren't. I checked, and I mean, what are you gonna do? You just can't stand there and let people get sick or die or whatever. You gotta do something.
So,
Happens.
all good. All good. How you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad myself.
He's like, I left yesterday, and next thing I know, I'm seeing things and pictures and all kinds of craziness going on.
Yeah, I saw that picture. I was just reading through the messages that, and when I saw everyone is okay, I'm like, thanks God.
Right? That's all that matters. Everyone
Wow.
got out. Everybody's good.
It's one of the reasons that we don't have any kind of that technical machinery stuff in our building. I'm kind of grateful for the fact, because those things you never know what can happen. And across the way, that's all they do. Those are all machinery type pods.
Every time things like that happen, I slow down, like in everything I do. It's just so stressful, and
Yep.
then you process it.
But you were in the
and then-
military.
Well, yeah, in the military, yeah. In the military, I learned a lot, and I actually had an emergency situation when I called 911. And after everything was okay, I realized, so I did so many things in 8 minutes, and yeah, so it was like, that was amazing, because I checked my phone because I called, and then I was tracking and texting people. So, and I learned that if something happened, first you need to focus on what's going on around you,
Evaluate.
follow
yes.
procedures, whatever you know, and then just take your time and breathe. And if sometimes, like, I was crying when my emergency happened. I was completely fine and doing things, but then I sat down and I was crying because the emotional part hit me. So, and I realized, I need to cry, I need to take my time because I want to make sure I'm okay. Yes, and it's really, really stressful. So I'm super happy you guys okay, everyone
Thank
is
you.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, it humbles you, and you just slow down and say, you know what? We're all good.
Well,
You
first
can't sweat the small stuff,
You
as they
can't.
say, right?
And
You just
you-
got to do what you got to do.
and you have to evaluate the situation. The
Oh,
first
yeah,
thing you want
for
to do is you
sure.
want to make sure you got this like layers, and the first layer is, for me, was to make sure everybody in here was okay. Stuff can be replaced, so as long as they got out, fire department they seem to have it under control. Police department, for some reason, they formed a corridor on the street, which when I was at the 3-4, that wouldn't have been the case, but I guess procedure now, the way they do it.
Well,
they do
heaven
it.
forbid someone drive in and that building goes up and people are driving towards it without knowing, then it makes a whole lot of sense.
It does, but it's just a different outlook for me. But when I saw them on the perimeter, then that just tells me that there's got to be a dangerous situation there because they don't know what's in there. And it could have been the bay next to it that had the dangerous. You don't know. You don't know what's in there. So we live in a very dangerous and crazy world. That's when I said, okay, let's take the cars out. It's time to go because I didn't evaluate the fact that maybe something, it could
But
have
you've
been
got
arson.
clarity of thought because you said to me, let's go. And I said, where are we going? I couldn't even figure out which way to drive my car. And you told me where to go, like, let's just go. We're going to sit, have a cup of coffee, and then we'll reevaluate coming back in. But you definitely have been trained and have clarity of thought and focus. So thank you for that.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is that panic will kill you.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Panic will kill you. So you have to maintain a sensible
It's
thought.
hard to control yourself when you panic, and
Well, forget about it. It's over.
and you can do some stupid things, and then you're like, why do I do that?
And then one stupid thing will lead to another stupid
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And so all of a sudden
And
you
it's
have
like
multiple.
snowball, yeah.
So you just got to stay in control and you and don't try to do something that you physically can't do. That's the biggest downfall. Like I know my limits. You guys are always making fun of me of ladders and stuff. If I had to do that, I would. But I know my limits. So if like G-Man is here, or if he's here, or she's here, I already know the elements around me. I know that Steve, you, and Sally were in there, and Jay. So I got to remove people. That was my first thought. If we got to go, we got to go. But it wasn't until the cop told me, we don't know what's in there. So why don't we just leave? The rationality of that. That's when I started hiding behind the truck because things go kaboom and you don't know what's in there. So, but anyway, I mean, the situation calls there. I've been in other situations far worse than that piece, and your training that you rely on what your training is. And
What do
don't
they
lose that.
teach you in the military when a situation like a dangerous situation?
Well, the first thing that they teach us about how we control our mind and how we stay focused, and they don't specifically teach us how to, if it's fire or something else, but it's all about the mental focus. Yeah.
And that's something you want to
Interesting.
teach
And
your kids.
also at school, not at FIU, when I was in New York, at school I watched a lot of trainings, like shooting, what you need to do, fire, what you need to do if you're at the store, if something happened at the store. And in the military, they teach us if we out of the country and if something happened, we lost the documents or whatever, what first thing we need to do. We need to know the phone number and location of embassy. If we're in a different country, the first thing we need to know is where we're getting help. So it's a lot of things, and Army experience very beneficial, like in my life. And all skills I learned, I applied, I would say, every single day. So that's really, really nice.
That's incredible, right? Things that we should all think about doing.
Well, we should, and the more I think about it, you should have an emergency kit, like a change of shoes. Because if something goes down, you ain't gonna get too far with them heels.
Truth.
So you may want to have a pair of sneakers or something you can get into, in and out. So that's the first train of thought that I had. That you have to evaluate your circumstances for evacuation. That's the first thing. After that, my brother was on the Nimitz, and he was he supplied goods to different aircraft carriers and stuff like that. So he got on a nuclear vessel, and they had an onboard fire in the Atlantic. And what they told him was that the whole entourage of boats that was with them and planes, they all left, and they had to turn that fire out themselves in the middle of the Atlantic. And the reasoning behind that was if it exploded, there'd probably be a dent in the earth for what they were carrying. So they had to figure it out. And they had 3 minutes to figure out how to turn off this fire in the lower vessel of the boat that started in the pantry or whatever.
So should we add a procedure to our procedure manual that Helga's making?
I think so.
We can review procedure and I also see the good thing in what happened that for someone is probably first time emergency experience. So they see like, Freddie, you did a really good job. So they saw how it needs to behave in the emergency situation. So I think it's a good. I mean, it's not a good experience, but it can happen again.
It's a learning experience, right?
It's a learning experience. We need to be calm, we need to react fast, and we need to know, maybe we need to go about a safety procedure or training or something like that.
Yep.
We should, because people are going to follow you if they trust you.
Yes.
And if you don't show trust, if you're showing panic, ain't nobody going to
Sally goes, can I go to the bathroom? No!
She ran to
and
the
she
bathroom.
did go to the bathroom thinking, we really should go.
See, if the fire department was here and Sally was in the bathroom, they would have ripped that door off and they would have grabbed her and they would have taken her out.
Oh my God.
Urination on her and everything else. They didn't care. They don't care. Now, one of the other things that I should have done was I should have unplugged
Unplug equipment.
all of the strips. I have to be unplugged from the wall, like this one. Reason being that if it turns into an electrical situation, it's going to come through. I already knew where it was, so I wasn't panicking because there's distance between us and them. But if that bay at this side would have gone up in flames and those wires would have burned, then the entry would be in certain points, and I should have. I just didn't think about it at the time, but you're right. We should have procedure, evaluating. Everybody evacuates out the front door here, which has always been my downfall. Is that there's one way in, one way out. There's a few here and over there, but that ain't really going to work for us. So we got to be smart.
Policies and procedures. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, more to come on our morning show. See, Sarge is in the house and we're good. Nathan, thank you for opening and setting everything up this morning. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. Get ready for your J.C. Dreesen concert tickets, May 14th. More to come on the other side of this commercial break, and we will be right back.
Love the Brooklyn Cafe? Don't miss out on some of the latest merch we have available. Need a new shirt? The Brooklyn Cafe has you covered. We have a variety of shirts in all sizes, ranging from the classic cafe shirt to the highly coveted colorful hot dog shirt. Need something for cold weather? Why not grab one of our cafe hoodies? Or you can snuggle up with one of our soft silk touch fabric blankets. The Brooklyn Cafe has everything you need, from clothing about the show to our signature coffee blends and mugs. Get it while supplies last.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty region pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Do you have diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case, and they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-613-3597. 800-613-3597. 800-613-3597. That's 800-613-3597.
Welcome to the Chocolate Spectrum, nestled in the heart of Jupiter, Florida, where every sweet indulgence tells a story of hope. Founded by Valerie Herskowitz for her son Blake, who is on the autism spectrum, the family-owned Artisan Chocolate Company has been spreading joy since 2013. Here, individuals with autism and other developmental disabilities are empowered with training and employment opportunities, which not only give them purpose, but also teach valuable skills. Support a greater cause with your exquisite treat by shopping in-store or online at shop.thechocolatespectrum.com, with shipping nationwide all year round, or call at 561-277-9886. The Chocolate Spectrum, where every bite makes a difference.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.